What if the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the story you keep telling yourself? That quiet excuse you whisper when no one is watching. That limitation you've nurtured like a scar. That belief that maybe you're not good enough, not ready enough, not strong enough. You've said it so often it feels like truth now. But it isn't. That story isn't your identity. It's your cage. And the longer you cling to it, the more time you steal from the life that could be yours. Somewhere along the road, someone taught you to shrink, to stay small, to stay safe. Maybe it was the world. Maybe it was pain. Maybe it was fear, dressed as logic. But let me remind you of something. The fire inside you, the one that still flickers even when everything goes dark, is not there by accident. It's your signal, your proof. You were never meant to live in the shadows of your own potential. You've been waiting for the perfect moment, for clarity, for confidence, for some sign that it's finally your turn. But that moment isn't coming. Not the way you imagine. Life doesn't knock. It waits, it watches, and then it moves, without you, if you let it. You don't need another year to get ready. You don't need more books, more validation, more approval from people who don't even understand your calling. What you need is to stop running from yourself. Because the truth is, you already know what you have to do. The dream isn't vague. The goal isn't distant. The calling isn't confusing. What's hard is the choice to begin, even though it might not be perfect. The choice to show up, even when you're terrified. The choice to break the cycle of almost. You weren't born to be average. You just got tired of fighting alone. You learned to smile when you were breaking. You learned to be strong for everyone except yourself. You made survival look graceful. But beneath the strength, there's a quiet voice asking, "What about me? What about your dreams? What about your purpose? What about that version of you, the one you buried under responsibility, fear, and silence?" That version is still waiting, still hoping, still ready to rise. And let me say this, they'll ask how you did it. When you finally walk into the life that once felt impossible. When your name is whispered with awe instead of doubt. When they look at you like you're the miracle. They'll ask. And you'll say, "I refuse to stay where I didn't belong." That's it. No magic. No luck. Just a decision. A decision to rise even when you were overlooked. To fight even when you were exhausted. To keep moving when everything told you to stop. You've been quiet for too long. This is not the season to shrink. It's the season to rise. This is the season to become undeniable. Because the truth is, no one is coming to save you. That doesn't make you a victim. That makes you powerful. Because if it's up to you, that means no one can stop you. Not anymore. Not after everything you've been through. Not after everything you've survived. They said you were too sensitive, too intense, too much. But maybe your intensity wasn't the problem. Maybe it was their lack of depth. Maybe you weren't too much. Maybe they were too little, too afraid, too comfortable. Because it takes courage to feel deeply, to dream boldly, to want more. And you were born to want more. Rock bottom wasn't the end. It was the place where you met the version of you who was unbreakable. The version who didn't care about opinions or perfection or timelines. The version who said, "This ends with me. The fear, the shame, the excuses, it ends here." You know that moment. When everything fell apart, and somehow you didn't. That's when you were born again. Not into weakness, but into power. And now you carry both stories, the pain and the comeback. There will come a day when you'll wish you had started today. Don't let this be that day. Don't let this be another almost. Another year wasted. Another season of hiding. Because no one ever built a legacy from their comfort zone. Legacies are built in the trenches, in the quiet mornings when no one is watching, in the nights when you wanted to quit but didn't, in the days when you showed up with trembling hands and a brave face. Every step matters. Every scar tells a story. Every no is building your yes. You don't need more time. You need to stop wasting the time you already have. How many more sunsets are you going to let pass while you talk about what you could do? How many more chances will you watch go by because you were waiting to feel ready? You'll never be completely ready. That's the lie. But you can be willing. Willing to try. Willing to learn. Willing to get it wrong and do it anyway. That's how you change your life. You've made it this far, not by accident, but by resilience. You've overcome storms that should have destroyed you. You've rebuilt after collapses no one saw coming. You've carried burdens no one applauded, and still, you rise. That strength, that quiet power, it's not ordinary. It's earned. And now, it's time to use it. They'll doubt you. They'll misunderstand you. They'll underestimate you. Good. That's your advantage. Because the loudest victories are the ones no one saw coming. You don't need a stage. You need silence. You need solitude. You need focus. The world has too many people who talk. It needs more people who do. People like you. You don't need to scream to be heard. You just need to become undeniable. You think it's too late? It's not. You think you've failed too many times? You haven't. You think you're broken beyond repair? You're not. The comeback is always louder than the breakdown. And no matter how far you feel from where you thought you'd be, it's not over. Not even close. Every sunrise brings another shot. Another decision. Another step forward. But only if you take it. You've been holding back your own power, dimming your own light, waiting for the right time to be who you already are. But you don't need permission to shine. You don't need anyone to say you're worthy. You already are. And if you're still here, if you're still breathing, then there's more for you. More life, more love, more victories, more purpose. This is not just a speech, this is a mirror. And it's time you finally looked into it. Not to see your mistakes, not to see your past, but to see your truth, your fire, your edge. The world needs you lit up, awake, alive, not buried under fear or trauma or someone else's version of who you're supposed to be. If no one believes in you, good. That means you'll build something no one saw coming. Let them sleep on you. Let them laugh. Let them doubt. Because when it's done, they won't ask what you dreamed about. They'll ask how you did it. And you'll say, I stopped waiting. I started becoming. There is a version of you on the other side of fear that you haven't even met yet. They are stronger, clearer, bolder. They don't ask for permission. They create paths where none existed. They are everything you've ever imagined and more. But you'll never meet them by standing still. You'll never meet them by playing it safe. You have to move. You have to risk. You have to leap. No one sees the seeds while they're buried, but that doesn't mean they're not growing. You've been in the dirt. You've been in the dark. But maybe this season wasn't meant to destroy you. Maybe it was meant to root you, to strengthen your foundation. So when you rise unshakable. People say time heals all wounds. That's only half true. Time heals nothing unless you use it, unless you choose growth, choose truth, choose action. You've waited long enough. It's time to move, time to believe, time to build, time to break your own chains. You're not behind. You're becoming. You're not stuck. You're storing strength. You're not broken. You're building. And every part of your story, the good, the ugly, the hidden, it all matters. It's not a detour. It's the path. You weren't just made to survive. You were made to lead, to blaze trails, to wake people up just by being fully alive. But first, you have to wake yourself up. You have to remember who you are when no one's watching. You have to hear your own voice again, the one that whispers, I was made for more. The future doesn't belong to the most talented. It belongs to the most determined, the most consistent, the ones who kept going long after it would have been easier to quit, the ones who didn't need applause, just a reason, just a mission, just one burning desire that said, I will not die with my potential buried inside me. You've spent too much time trying to prove yourself to the wrong people. It's time to become yourself, for you. Not for validation, not for recognition, for freedom, for peace, for purpose. That's your reward. That's your goal. And it's waiting. You don't need a plan B. You need to finally commit to plan A. The dream, the purpose, the truth. Stop hedging. Stop holding back. Go all in. Burn the bridge to who you used to be. Build a new identity. One built on action, not just intention. Discipline, not just motivation. Legacy, not just success. And when it gets hard, and it will, you'll remember this moment, this decision, this fire. You'll remember that you chose to rise when it would have been easier to hide. You'll remember that you became the one who doesn't wait to be chosen because you chose yourself. Now go become the person you were always meant to be. The clock is still ticking, but this time, you're not wasting a second.